welcome to the Den for the PFD Women's Super League for 2018. We've reached round 8. The first full round of fixtures has been completed. And today it is the Kingborough Lions playing host to Launceston City. It's a Kingborough side that should be riding high on confidence. They've gone through to the statewide cup final, a real boil over last weekend when they defeated Ulverston up in Ulverston. That was the first defeat inflicted upon the coastal side this season. So can that be a result? The boys, this Lions team, gets them just lift their form. They've only got the one win so far in the Super League this season. Can they mirror the cup form today? We'll find out. They face a very tough task against the team currently sitting second on the table, Launceston City, and probably still the favourites to claim the Super League title at this stage. It's shaping as a bit of a two-horse race between them and Ulverston, but I would imagine that it is Launceston City who are probably still favoured by way of the fact that the next two times they play Ulverston, it will be at Buckby Park. And I don't think there's a whole lot between those two teams. We have a look at the recent form in the Super League, and of course just the one win from their last 5 there, a couple of heavy defeats for the Lions, but that all-important 1-0 win in the Cup last week has turned their season around. City, meanwhile, they had a bit of a lull there for a 2-week period where they shipped 6 in that big loss to Ulverston at Ulverston. They got hit for 7 by Olympia in the statewide cup, and you can see the games beforehand against the likes of Taroona and South Hobart. They also conceded goals pretty freely there, so they've got some issues at the back they need to address, but they did seem to bounce back rather sharply against Hobart Zebras a couple of weeks ago at KG5, and they absolutely dominated the defending champions. It was one of their best performances of the season, so perhaps they've turned a corner and got their season back on track. But should be an interesting game, this one here this afternoon at the Den. We'll have a look at the Kingborough Lions team, and at the top, Olivia Gardner. I think a lot of the credit for that semi-final victory needs to go to Olivia Gardner. She was fantastic, denying Jasmine Gorrie on a number of occasions, made some sharp saves. A very good performance from her. The rest of the team, number 3, Isabel Dadswell. Number 5, Phoebe Clifford. Number 6, Emil Tatton. She'll be a key playmaker for this team. Charging out of the middle, gives so much attacking drive for them. You've got number 9, Christabel Moore. Seen a bit of her in attacking roles recently. Number 10, Sammy Watkins, typically lining up on the left. Ali Lawson, Ishka Mackay. The talisman of this team really is Laura Davis. Number 14, she does it all up top. Going to be so important for them today. And on the bench, number 16, Grace Furness, rounding out that side. And then on the bench, you've got Madison James, regular fullback, dropped to the pine here today. An interesting one there. Erica McIntosh, Layla Hickman, and Ashley Hale rounding out the hosts. And we'll have a look at the visitors. A couple of new names in there, but largely as the side has been all season, Lucienne Dewsbury will be between the sticks as we take a look at that City team. Walking out to a sun-swept Lightwood Park, number 2, Keelan Fagan, a real rising star of the game, promising young striker. Looking forward to seeing what she can do today. Number 3, Ruby Banner. Number 5, Brooke Hernick, and her sister there, number 11, Emily Hernick's having a good year in attack. One plays at the back, one in attack. A good pairing, the sisters there. Number 7, Beth Bygrave, probably the best player in the competition, the reigning best and fairest, is having another dominant year, well on her way to making it back-to-back medal. She's been top drawer once again. Holly Saville having a really good year, number 8. Annika Reitsema, number 9, haven't seen her before. Number 10, Lillian Shegog, scored a goal against the Hobart Zebras a couple of weeks ago. Emily Hernick, a staple on the left wing for them, as I've said. And Muriel Agatowski, the fullback, really looked to bomb on in that Zebras game. Selena Stevenson can play either a defensive midfielder or a centre-back role. Good old-fashioned destroyer, Selena Stevenson. Number 4, Amy Hawes, and number 2, Madison Duffy, rounding out this City side. The team's shaking hands here. Well, Andrew calling for a slice of cheese here today. Officials just about to get us underway here today. Luke Phillips in the centre, Matthew Westwood and Stephen Roach, his ARs. And all the best that they have a good game, free from controversy, as we get ready to start here down at the Den. Looking forward to this one, kicking off the double-header between these two clubs, Kingborough Lions and Launceston City. The NPL match following it at 2:30. It should be a good day of football. The sun is shining. There's not too many clouds about. It's a lovely day to be having a kick. And a big chance here for the Kinborough Lions to kick on from a fantastic result last week in that semi-final. They've had a pretty difficult year, just the one victory. It was a very convincing one over Clarence, but they've dropped some points that they probably feel they probably should be a bit higher up the table, but they get the chance to start riding that as we reach the second full round of fixtures here today with round 8, although I suppose technically a couple of teams still haven't played that 7th game yet after we had those washouts back in round 1. These teams met all the way back at the start of the season. It was a fairly convincing win for Launceston City on that day. 5-1 was the score when they met back in the opening round, that one up north. So Kingborough will be hoping home ground advantage can change things. It was a pretty clinical display that day from Launceston City. They didn't create a host more of chances, but probably edged them, but they certainly took them better. And that's often the difference. And Olivia Gardner is going to need to be sharp in net today for the hosts, I do feel. But if she can replicate what she produced last week, we could well have quite the game on our hands. So is it just 1 week, or is it a sign of things to come? We're about to find out here. Launceston City offering a stern test for these young Lions. And Luke Phillips about to get us underway. And off we go. Beth Bygrave with the ball and immediately launching that one forward there. Dadswell pressured by Hernick and just steering it out of play. Safety first. Going to be important at the back there today, Dadswell. And City will take the throw in over the head of Fagan. Actually smashed forward in the Davis direction, but Hernick getting a foot in front of her. Lions quite often play a rather direct style, looking to just get it up to Davis as quickly as possible, try and spring her in behind, use her pace, such a weapon for this team. Tatton offering short. That one's ignored. And they chip it forward, but that's steered away in towards Keelan Fagan, swept up at the back. Bygrave now coming in for Launceston City. Bygrave draws a crowd and chipped one which was blocked eventually. So we picked up at the back there and moved away. Quickly back in possession. Launceston City trying to make some inroads down the left here. Unable to do so. The Lions looking pretty solid early on as Tatton gets an early touch and they eventually go back to the keeper. And now here's a rather dicey back pass for a second. The flag had been raised, just putting the pressure on Gardner momentarily there. So Gardner launches it towards Tatton. They do well to work it forwards. Hands raised for an offside appeal, and now a chance perhaps in behind here. It's Dewsbury who was sharp and got on the ball before Tatton could pounce. It just looked like it might spring open at the back for a second. And nodded away there. Out of play by Lillian Shegog. Throw in again off the head of Shegog. Down the line they go. Ball was the target. Moves forward, Hernick. Now a lovely ball from Saville to Fagan, looking to thread it through here for Hernick. Hernick goal side. Just did enough to put her off Gardner. Cuts it back to the top of the box. Bygrave driving one. That's blocked away. Bygrave quickly looking to pounce back on the ball. Kingborough defence holding firm for the time being as Laura Davis looks to lead the counter. And is dispossessed by, I'm guessing, Ruby Banner. Says number 3 on my team sheet, wearing the number 13. I can't see number 13 out there, so I'm going to guess that's just a little stitch up there from the team manager of City. This one's whacked forward and will be easily collected by Dewsbury. Looked forward by Saville, again looking to combine there with the dangerous Keelan Fagan, who spreads it wide for Banner. Banner down the line for Hernick. Hernick taking it inside. Well tracked by the Lions defence. Bygrave buying some space, and she's got room to shoot, and it's in off the post. Oh, it's just going to bounce wide. Bygrave, it looked for all money as if that was just going to curl in the top corner. The danger not yet passed. Crossed in off the head, and that'll go behind. But Beth Bygrave with the best moment of the game. 4 minutes in, it was some lovely work from Hernick. Tees it up to her, and then just bang. The defender bites, skips inside. She's done this for the last couple of years routinely. I just thought it was going to curl back and nestle in off the post. And a lifeline there for Gardner. They say the posts are a goalie's best friend. Very much the case on that occasion for Olivia Gardner. And an early scare there for the Lions, who've been hemmed back rather deep in the opening moments of this one. On away by Hernick. Banner scrapping away. Trying to build from the back here are the Lions, but finding it difficult just for the moment. Defended very stoutly last week under immense pressure from Ulverston for so much of that game. Really pegged back deep for large swathes of that one, and the early signs here that they could be under a fair bit of pressure again today. That's a mistimed clearance there. Might invite a little bit of pressure. Okay, not quite dealing with it, but they've got time to recover the situation and to play their way out. Stepping up there was Agatowski. Bygrave now. Back for Hernick. Saville. Guy picks it up, but she's just worked under it there by Hernick, who looks to spring it for Fagan. Fagan doing the defensive work. Back for Saville now. But there'd been a foul in the build-up. Won't be allowed to continue. Lions will be keen just to get a little spell of possession going here. They've not really been able to settle in this one so far. It's been very much Launceston City bossing the contest. Need to find a way to get a foothold in this one. I think Laura Davis involved would probably be a good start for them, as this one's straight to Holly Saville, who sends it down the line for Fagan to chase, but Gardner will have no issues getting to that first. So the Lions looking to build down the right here. Davis the target, but again, a little shackled, fighting back there. McKay. In fact, Dadswell is for the Lions. She's got Tatton moving instead ops for Christabel Moore. Back for Dadswell. Into the middle. Miscontrolled temporarily by Watkins, but back on it and tries to play through, and they're open at the back here. Here's a chance. A slightly heavy touch, and it just lets Dewsbury in. Unfortunate touch there from Isabel DeSmit. And it looked like the Lions had got him behind. That's twice now there's been a moment of panic at the back, and the Lions using their pacey forwards to just sneak in behind, which augurs well for them. And despite the fact they've not had a lot of the ball, when they have gone forwards, they've troubled this Launceston City defence so far. That one's won back by Banner, but it went straight to Grace Furness. Gardner across for Mackay, and couldn't keep that one in play. Gutowski with the throw in. Hernick unable to control that one. Much nicer day down at the Den than the last trip here. It was real hurricane type conditions. Certainly, I think the sponsors will be happier. Their advertising boards are a much stronger chance of staying up today. We're absolutely blown sideways last time we streamed out of the Den. And took on another Northern opposition. It was Kingborough taking on Rangers, and here's a chance at the back. They're bursting in behind. Oh, just hit the back of the foot there of DeSmit. The pass just copping the boot. If it hadn't been either side of her, she might have been sprung in behind. And again, when City are pushing up, Kingborough threatening to have a little bit of joy in behind, but it's been almost moments thus far for the Lions. Here's Clifford. Lost it to Saville, sends it down the line for Keelan Fagan. Keelan Fagan running here at Mackay, and she backs her pace in. Keelan Fagan drives to the byline, now crosses, but it's straight out of play and rather wasted in the end there from the youngster. Just getting a little too tight as we have another look at this moment that threatened to spring in behind, but unfortunately the pass straight into the boot now of Isabel DeSmit. Chance going begging. Olivia Gardner just punching this one down in the direction of DeSmit. Her opposite number there, Saville, plays it back to Steventon. And Laura Davis breathing down her neck. Saville again been prominent early in this one and just overcooked the pass there, trying to tee up Hernick. Gardner long towards Davis. Hit the deck, and that's steered away by Banner. Simon Edwards down there on the touchline, getting the ball back to his team there. Be delighted with their side's progression through to that cup final. A huge opportunity for the club in the women's program. Edwards, the man at the helm of that for a few years now, as Bygrave picks it up and suddenly finds herself in space here, driving towards the Lions goal. Beth Bygrave, but well won back there. That's really well defended. Superb stuff there from Isha Mackay. And the offside flag is raised against the Lions in attack, but Mackay stood her ground well. Beth Bygrave, how many times have we seen this? She just pulls that move, buys some room, then launches one goalward. Not on this occasion. Well done. Well, the young defender there. Now playing a very high line as Selena Stevenson smashes that one forwards. Emily Hernick giving chase. Situation under control at the back for the Lions, though, at the moment through Tatton. Always a composed figure on the ball. Back to the keeper, Gardner. Goes towards Moore. Over her head and picked up by Bygrave again. One way than the other. Zigging and zagging through the middle as she does. Lovely work there from Banner. Good recovery from Tatton, though. Sticking tight to Emil Tatton. Centre Avenue blocked off to the ball. And the bigger body of Banner in the end, though. Fagan. Agatowski. Top of the box. Bygrave. Getting well broken up. Watkins this time. What can she produce? She sends it in the Davis direction, who used her pace to get in ahead of Stevenson. Stevenson whisks it away there from Davis before she can get in behind. Just took the front position well there, the experienced defender. Here's Moore. That one stay in play. Apparently so, though the flag's now been raised for offside. Nipping that attack in the bud, but the Lions starting to grow into this game a little in recent moments. Best chance of the game still that of Beth Bygrave, smashing one into the top window and being denied by the crossbar. Fagan, very good physicality there, won the ball, worked it to Saville. Saville to Shegog, trying to get in behind. Eventually, Dadswell clears the area. There they go, Tatton left it behind. Slightly dicey touch, but well recovered, and now perhaps a chance to spring it down the right for the Lions. They're attacking down here through Dadswell, charging down this flank, but couldn't get in behind Agatowski. Tatton always presenting to these throw-ins, always gives an option. Wasn't chosen on that occasion, instead going for Christabel Moore, and it's out of her for a city throw for Agatowski. Agatowski down the line in the Hernick direction. And the foul will go in favour of the Lions on this occasion. A decent start to the game from Isabel Dadswell. Been prominent for the Lions, and she stands over this dead ball and knocks it centrally in the direction of Davis, but repelled by Brooke Hernick to her sister Emily. She put it on the head of, well, Bygrave gets it eventually. It was Watkins with the initial header. Now Tatton. Emil Tatton, so often the orchestrator for the Lions. Looks to back in her pace to drive in behind here and beats a couple and buys some room. Promising from Tatton. What can she deliver? Tries to pick out Davis. Hernick, better be careful with the arm there. Almost giving away the handball, but controlled it fairly enough in the end. The foul there from Hernick, and Tatton giving chase to this one. Won't be able to pounce upon it, and Dewsbury can take the kick. Luciana Dewsbury to get us restarted. Not a lot of purchase on that one. Coughed it straight up, and now Laura Davis is on the ball, and she sends it to the middle. Dangerous Moore trying to get on the end of it, but again the touch just a little heavy, and it brings the keeper into play. Watkins couldn't get at that one. And they go looking for Emil Tatton. Smashed away unceremoniously by Gatowski. Or threatening to get in behind, but again just slightly heavy with the touch. It's been the Lions' problem so far in the final third. Throw in again to be taken by Agatowski. Safety first from Dadswell. Why'd they go into the centre of the box? The Lions repel only as far as Beth Bygrave, who picks it up, and she's got one thought, and that's to shoot. And that's why Beth Bygrave opens the scoring at Lightwood Park, as she so often does. A long-range shot over the head of Gardner. And it's Launceston City, a goal to the good. Won it back. It was a bit sloppy at the back, and as soon as she picked that up, she had one thought on her mind, Beth Bygrave. And she puts the visitors a goal to the good, and probably comes off the Lions' best spell of the game, really. And started to build into this one quite nicely. Started to have a bit of the ball, but they now find themselves chasing this one, and that's the threat that Beth Bygrave always is in this Launceston City side. Always liable to bob up from a goal from range. She threatened a couple of times already. Already hit the post once, and she's on the score sheet and trying to spring someone in attack again. Davis was broken up by Hernick. Watkins charging after that one, playing a more defensive role today is Watkins. Scrapping away with Saville here. Stand, I think number 13 might also be Annika Wright-Seema, too. So Ruby Banner is playing right back at the moment. So it could be number 9 on the team sheet now. I'm thinking he's the number 13 on the pitch. Not seeing a number 9 out there for City at the moment, so apologies for the mix-up on the names there, but can only go by what we've got on the team sheet, as this one's out of play and a throw-in for the Lions. Down the line, and that's really straight to Lillian Sheegog. She coughed it right back up to Watkins, though. Perhaps a chance on the left, but again it was heavily hit and spills out of play. So Banner with a throw in. Watkins looks to spring in Davis. Will she get there first? She does. It's Laura Davis. Surely. Oh, didn't have enough pepper. She's just tried to roll it in, lets the defender in, and Steventon saves the day for City. And what an opportunity squandered there. The normally lethal Laura Davis rounding the keeper. All she needs to do was stroke this one home and just undercooked it, I'm afraid. Tried to tap it home. And it just allowed Steventon in. Needed a more decisive hit on that occasion. And that's a rare mistake from one of the best young strikers going around. Did everything right till the finish there. The Lions with a corner now. Bygrave clears the area. Played straight back in. Blocked there. First of the fall. There's Wright-Seema. Now Banner down the line. Picked up by McKay. Off the head of Agatowski to Saville, but Furness won it back. Smashed forward and again repelled. Bit of aerial ping pong here for the time being. Looping around the pitch. Wright-Seema. Coughing it up to Dadswell. Warning there for City again about playing too high of a line though. The pace of Laura Davis getting in behind, and now Tatton might try and Springer and repeat the dose, but the keeper very sharp. Dewsbury. She was a bit deeper in her net last time, this time playing outside the box and able to sweep that one up before Davis could pounce. Can Dadswell keep this one in? She does. No. Tatton unable to make it work. So 20 minutes gone here at the Den. Launceston City holding sway courtesy of a Beth Bygrave goal. Agatowski. By Dadswell. Throw in broken up before it could reach Tatton. Bygrave a bit ambitious with that pass.
Push him out, that's it.
Moore just getting a little too much on that one. Throw in taken. Fagan presenting at the ball and played the 1-2. It's back on the end of it here. Keelan Fagan turning, ran into a little bit of trouble but kept a hold of the ball well, then played a lovely ball to the back post for Sheegog. That was closed down well though. Nicely defended by Lawson. And in the end, it'll be a goal kick the Lions' way, so very nicely done by Lawson. Gardner to take the kick, and she punches it wide, looking for a searching lead from Isabel DeSmit. And just not quite sharp enough for the passing there, the Lions. You can see what they're trying to do. The intent is there. The execution not quite with some of these passes coming out from the back. When it has come off, they've unlocked Launceston City. Quick transitions, able to spring the likes of Davis in behind. Bygrave now at the top of the box. This spells danger. Top of the net on this occasion. Wasn't too far away. Beth Bygrave on the non-preferred. Just always seems to find space. Ed Gardner scrambling. Just floating over the top in the end. So Beth Bygrave threatening to double up. And City going to keep using that tactic. I'd have thought they did it a lot against Hobart Zebras in their last venture south. Very happy to pull the trigger from distance, and Beth Bygrave has certainly shown her intent again in this one early on with one goal and coming close to a second, so they're going to need to close that down. It's Holly Saville now bursting through. Saville trying to make something happen, but Isha Mackay able to defend the area well enough. Throw in, defended by Watkins. Fall City's way though, back into the middle for Hernick. Hit it first time, which made it difficult and wide of the post.
Good effort. Down mark. No, just split there. Just split. See, good talking.
Gardner. Bit of a hook there on the goal kick, but it works out all right. Went to Tatton. Does well. Played it back, but they've turned it over here. Beth Bygrave. Saville. Now Steventon. Trying to pick out the run of Hernick. Just a little too much heat on that pass. Goal kick for Gardner. And opting for the short one into the corner, and City will come across and try and box them in. Shut down by Emily Hernick on this occasion. You can see Launceston City, almost every player in the Kinborough Lions half here at the moment, playing a really high press, trying to box them in. And it's the Lions trying to play their way through the press at the moment. Watkins clears this one away, but they keep taking the short goal kicks. Might just play into the visitors' hands a little. Right, seam up. Hernick. Hernick, that's repelled. Now picked up by Tatton trying to drive them forwards. Couldn't make anything happen on this occasion. Hernick. Sneak in behind the lines, but again, it's well defended. Furness on this occasion. And the clearance goes wide, but it's straight to Holly Saville, who gave it to Hernick. Her touch picked off. It's a little bit scrappy and all taking place in this one little quadrant of the ground at the moment, the game. Very much exclusively being played in this far left-hand corner. Right, Seema. Agatowski. Chipped it over the top and again headed into touch. A real win factor at play today. Skin City probing away here. Agatowski. She might take it back more centrally. Does so. That's repelled. Saville. And again, every clearance from the Lions is going to the same spot. And there'll be another Launceston City throw in. I just need to knock these clearances down the middle. Try and spring Davis in behind rather than gifting throw-ins to the opposition. They'll now try and do just that. A ball over the top for Davis. Good recovery speed from Hernick. Really well defended, Brooke Hernick. Looked like she was out of position initially. Davis seemed to have the better spot, but just worked her way back nicely. Those crucial contests. It'll be vital for Launceston City because so much of the Lions' attacking play is trying to spring the pace of Laura Davis in behind and get her running in one-on-one. She's got a great track record Scoring goals, doing that over the past couple of seasons. Here's Moore. Takes a touch inside. Crunched, but good challenge to win the ball in the end it was from Saville.
Good talking, Brooke.
This one is whacked long and the offside flag stayed down. Big chance here for the Lions. Davis cuts inside. Laura Davis surely. 1-1. She doesn't miss this time. Laura Davis restores parity down at the den. She showed terrific composure there. Looked in complete control and then deposits it into the back of the net. And we're tied at 1-1. She threatened to do so in the opening half hour here, Davis. And now she adds to her tally for the season. An impressive striking start down here at the den, Davis. Took it one way, then the other, just beat Stevenson. And does nicely, just puts it in behind the keeper after she started to commit to her right. Great composure. And especially so given after that first chance she had where she perhaps was a little too cool and composed and just tried to roll it home. It would have been easy perhaps to be a little more panicky on that occasion, just want to fire off the shot with a bit more power, but she thought her way through it really nicely there, Laura Davis. And the Kingborough Lions pull one back here on Launceston City. Bygrave and Davis, the two star players for each team, producing the goods early in this one. And City, and will they respond to being pegged back? It's Kingborough looking to go on the attack, but again, just running out of real estate in wide areas. Agatowski with the throw. Hernick trying to work it to Bygrave. Rolls a foot over it, or just turning a defender Bygrave. The support came from Tatton though. And having two players trying to mark Bygrave, not a bad strategy. Right, Seema trying to make inroads. Unable to keep that one in play though. Maybe a Kingborough Lions throw in. Right, Seema. Fagan. Now Bygrave. Beth Bygrave. That was a little bit loose, that one. Really in the position to be firing off the shot on that occasion, Bygrave. Certainly didn't make the contact she was after. Gardner again opting for the short option, but with a bit more pepper on that pass, and it just bounced over the foot of Arlie Lawson. Throw in. Down the line go the Lions, looking to counter once again. Hernick got there ahead of Davis. Pressure then into a bit of a rush clearance, just chipping it straight out of play. So the Lions ball. Christabel more the target of this one, but broken up by Ruby Banner. Banner played one which took a couple of deflections, and both of the deflections were off Lions players. The first from Watkins and then the second off the head of DeSmith. Brooke Hernick with the throw-in duties. Long throw towards Fagan. Fagan tried to spring Shegog unsuccessfully. It was Clifford in there for the Lions. She plays it forward, but plenty of Launceston City bodies were back in defence. The Schmidt combining with Watkins, who hits that one a bit too hard for a teammate, unable to get back on the receiving end of it. Here's Lawson. Goes back to Gardner, put her under pressure here. Gardner extricated herself from the situation before Hernick could swoop. Now Beth Bygrave trying to chip one Didn't quite get the elevation on it, but didn't mind the intent from Beth Bygrave with Gardner just slightly off a line. Here's Dadswell. Dadswell looking to link up with Tatton, who did her no favours with the return pass. And Tatton providing the option from the throw-in. Negotiated by Agatowski. Going to play the 1-2 with Saville, but working back nicely with Dadswell. Now chipped forward. Should be a Lions throw-in. Down in front of the dugout. Now cameras there. Here's Christabel Moore. Chips one down to the corner and safety first from Agatowski. Throw in over the head of Tatton, falls for Moore, back to Dadswell. Dadswell now crossing in the Davis direction. Hernick's touch, a bit of a chaos ball here. Now it's Moore. Hernick tried to clear the area and had a fresh area in an ill-timed moment. Shegog showed great courage. That would have hurt. Cops a whack, but more importantly, she gets the ball for a team before Davis could pounce again. Great attack on the ball from the goalie here. That was an awkward one. Well dealt with by Lucienne Dewsbury. He takes this kick, but straight to the opposition. The header went to Hernick though, and immediately picked back off by Tatton. Should win the throw-in for her side here. Agatowski thinks otherwise, but clearly the last touch from her, and that was a bit cheeky throwing the ball away like that, so I wonder if Mr. Phillips might have a word about it. Gets away with it. Tatton the target, but repelled by Hernick. Dadswell. Moore. Aggressive defending there from Bygrave, and out of play it goes. Indeed, it was a little overzealous. It was a foul blown there by the referee. Bygrave, yeah, just clipping up. Gives the chance for Isabel Dadswell to send something in. Good one into the box. What can she pick out? The boot of Hernick deflected into the path of De Schmidt, trying to track this one down. Plays it back for Watkins, took it inside. Sorry, that's Watkins now on the ball, and coughed up to Saville. Launceston City looking to break. Holly Saville trying to play in Keelan Fagan down the right, but again it rolls out of play. Plagued both these teams at times today, just trying to stay in the confines. Both teams really making the use of the width here. It's just been pushing the limits a little bit too far at times. How wide they've looked to play. Here's Watkins. Took a little touch before rolling out of play, so this one will be a Kingborough throw-in. Waiting for something to present itself. Nothing really did. Shegog breaking that one up. And lofted down for Hernick. Should be able to deal with this. Turning onto the right and took it away from De Schmidt and ran it straight out of play. Might have been better served playing that one back to the keeper in the end there. The City defender. Here's a chance for a cross towards Davis. Aaron Tatton can raffle it. Tatton now charging after it. Agatowski got a boot in, saw it away. Two attacking diamonds in this Lions team, just perhaps getting slightly in each other's way momentarily. Again, Tatton receiving the throw-in, flicked it into the box. No one there though. Watkins across. Dadswell. Away by Hernick. Laura Davis with a little bit of space at the top of the box. Quickly closed down by Hernick. Recovered it well. Then well won away by Ruby Banner. This is promising here from the Lions. They're starting to get on top of this game, really starting to dictate things a bit after it was all Launceston City in the early going. Here's Tatton. The Lions giving them a good fight here at the moment. Here's Bygrave. Into the back of Hernick. Back to Beth Bygrave. Sends it for Hernick. Gardner, will she get there first? She doesn't. Hernick back across the face. She can't quite track it down. Gardner scrambling back into position. Yeah, Hangle just deceiving there. I thought the keeper had that one covered, but Hernick gets there first and couldn't quite direct the shot. Gardner doing well, knowing Hernick was always going to try and hit that one with the left foot rather than the right, as is her preference. Watkins away. Can Kingborough break now? They're threatening to do so, and they'll spring Laura Davis in behind once more, and a foot race with Hernick, and is that a foul? She got the ball, she's put it behind for a corner. Well defended in the end by Hernick. Indeed, the last touch coming off Davis, so very, very well defended by Brooke Hernick. A couple of times she found herself in those foot races with Laura Davis, and has stayed stride for stride with the Lions. Number 14. Such a lively threat. Every time she takes to the pitch is Davis. Here's Dewsbury. Hernick, slightly dicey touch, almost letting in Tatton. I think at the moment it'll be Launceston City who'll be the happier team to hear the halftime whistle. The Kingborough Lions have really started to grow and playing their best football of the half at the moment, as the long and strong approach might just get Davis in behind, who despairingly looks at the linesman to see the flag was raised. She didn't think she was, but the call made as they nearly went route one and again sprung at Davis. Good purchase on the goal kick from Olivia Gardner. Agatowski looking for Stevenson, but coughed it up. Right, Seema. Back for Agatowski. And that pass eluding the teammate. So the throw in. As we tick towards half time here at the Den. 1-1 the score. The Lions looking to add to that, and they've certainly been threatening to do so in the last 10 minutes. Some defending here for Ruby Banner to do. Being pressured well by this Lions forward press at the moment. Now they chip it in. That's a crucial header from Stevenson. Davis almost in behind, and again they chip one into her path. Dewsbury with a bit of a fumble, but eventually regains control of it. And she launches this one long. Hernick to contest. Nods it towards Fagan. Watkins doing a good job defensively today. Has swept up a lot and won a lot of balls for her side. She plays this one for Tatton. Well closed down by Agatowski as City persist with this high line, looking to win the ball back high up the pitch. Throw in and a nasty kick on the knee there to Emil Tatton, who gets the free kick. Somehow from the ground that was played by Christabel Moore and to a teammate what's more. Steered away by Stevenson. Now Saville. Keelan Fagan volleys this one up. At the back, Lawson plays it for Gardner. Gardner played it straight to Bygrave. Now Saville returns it to Bygrave. Bygrave swinging this one goalward, but no trouble whatsoever for Olivia Gardner, who looks to play DeSmit in, but put her under a bit of pressure unintentionally, losing the feet. It was right Seema and committing the foul in the process. Just a throw in. for the Lions. This one in the Moore direction, but Saville got there first. 1-2 headers, got it to Hernick, played it back to Saville. Good pressure from Moore, just put her off, got a foot in and broke that move up. The attacker tracking back well for a side. Long ball straight to Hernick. Davis trying to close that one down. Good scrap on the wing here, won by Tatton. And tried to pull off the little skill move there with some quick feet. Succeeded in winning a throw-in. Out to play again as we tick now towards the final minute of the first 45 down at the Den. 1-1 the score and probably a fair reflection on the game so far. Launceston City made all the early running. They took the lead through Beth Bygrave. She hit the post earlier. They really were trapping the Lions deep up the field. They were all over them, but midway through the half, something definitely changed and the Lions started to get a bit more possession. They worked their way up the field. They've had some dangerous moments in behind and eventually pulling one back through Laura Davis. And I think 1-1, pretty fair score so far, with this game very much up for grabs heading into the second half for whoever can be the more decisive team in the final third. Or maybe it'll be City who head into the second half with the lead. They're threatening here. It's Keelan Fagan. Keelan Fagan! Denied by Gardner. Really good piece of goalkeeping there by Olivia Gardner, getting down to deny. Fagan broken nicely. There were some holes at the back there for the first time in a good half hour or so. It really broke down at the back. Fagan running into that gap and very nearly profiting. Here's Saville trying to go around Watkins. Kept it in, then played across. Bygrave will hit this one first time. And that she did. Across the face of goal. Taking a deflection behind for a Launceston City corner. And the ball spills the way of Bygrave at the top of the box. You've got to be careful. It was just a bit too casual at the back there. From Kingborough, it invited all sorts of pressure for them. It was Clifford with the pass. Just needs to be a little more responsible on the ball, playing out from the back, because you can really get opened up if you're the centre back stepping up like that. Repelled by the marker on the near post. That might be just about that for the first half. And indeed it is. So half-time here at Lightwood Park. It's Kingborough Lions 1, Launceston City 1. A pretty even first 45. It's going to be an interesting second half in store. A big game for these two teams. The Lions looking to build off their big statewide cup semi-final victory last week, whilst Launceston City will look to momentarily jump back to the top of the table. Do rejoin us in about 15 minutes' time for the second half of this one down at the Den. For now, we're locked at 1-1. Fagan looking to thread a three here for Hernick. Hernick goal side. Just did enough to put her off Gardner. Cuts it back to the top of the box. Bygrave driving one. That's blocked away. Bygrave quickly looking to pounce back on the... Hernick taking it inside. Well tracked by the Lions defence. Bygrave buying some space and she's got room to shoot and it's in off the post. Oh, it's just going to bounce wide. Bygrave, it looked for all money there by Hernick, who looks to spring it for Fagan. Fagan doing the defensive work. Back for Saville now. We're back on it and tries to play it through, and they're open to the back here. Here's a chance. A slightly heavy touch and it just lets Dewsbury in. Unfortunate touch there from Kingborough taking on Rangers, and here's a chance at the back. They're bursting in behind. Oh, just hit the back of the foot there of DeSmit. The pass guy, and she backs her pace in. Keelan Fagan drives to the byline, now crosses, but it's straight out of play and rather wasted in the end there. And suddenly finds herself in space here, driving towards the Lions goal. Beth Bygrave, but well one back there. That's really well defended. Superb stuff there from Isha Mackay. On the right for the Lions. They're attacking down here through Dadswell, charging down this flank, but couldn't get in behind. Agatowski in the Hernick direction. And the foul will go in favour of the Lions. And now Laura Davis is on the ball and she sends it to the middle. Dangerous Moore trying to get on the end of it, but again the touch just a little heavy and it brings why they go into the centre of the box. The Lions repel only as far as Beth Bygrave, who picks it up and she's got one thought, and that's to shoot. And that's why Beth Bygrave opens the scoring at Lightwood Park, as she so often does. A long-range shot over the head of Gardner. And it's Launceston City, a goal to the good. Watkins looks to spring in Davis. Will she get there first? She does. It's Laura Davis. Surely. Oh, didn't have enough pepper. She's just tried to roll it in, lets the defender in, and Stevenson. Looks of Davis in behind. Bygrave now at the top of the box. This spells danger. Top of the net on this occasion. Wasn't too far away. And the offside flag stayed down. Big chance here for the Lions. Davis cuts inside. Laura Davis, surely. 1-1. She doesn't miss this time. Laura Davis restores parity down at the den. She showed terrific composure there. Looked in complete control and then deposits it into the back of the net. Extricated herself from the situation before Hernick could swoop. Now Beth Bygrave trying to chip one. Didn't quite get the elevation on it, but didn't mind the intent here. Now it's more. Hernick tried to clear the area and had a fresh area at an ill-timed moment. Shegog showed great courage. That would have hurt. Dadswell. More. Aggressive defending there from Bygrave, and another player goes. For Hernick. Gardner, will she get there first? She doesn't. Hernick back across the face. Shegog can't quite track it down. Gardner scrambling back into position. They're threatening to do so, and they'll spring Laura Davis in behind once more. And a foot race with Hernick. And is that a foul? She got the ball. She's put it behind. Chip it in. That's a crucial header from Stevenson. Davis almost in behind, and again they chip one into her path. Dewsbury with a bit of a fumble, but eventually into the second half for whoever can be the more decisive team in the final third, or maybe it'll be City who head into the second half with the lead. They're threatening here. It's Keelan Fagan. Keelan Fagan denied by Gardner. Really good piece of goal. Kept it in, then played across. Bygrave will hit this one first time, and that she did across the face of goal. Taking a deflection behind for a Launceston City corner. And the ball spills the way of Bygrave at the top of the box. You've got to be careful. It was just a bit too casual at the back there. And Kingborough had invited all sorts of pressure for them. He was Clifford with the pass. Just needs to be a little more responsible on the ball, playing out from the back, because you can really get opened up if you're the centre back stepping up like that. Repelled by the marker on the near post. That might be just about that for the first half. And indeed it is. So half-time here at Lightwood Park. It's Kingborough Lions 1, Launceston City 1. A pretty even first 45. It's going to be an interesting second half in store. A big game for these two teams. The Lions looking to build off their big statewide cup semi-final victory last week, whilst Launceston City will look to momentarily jump back to the top of the table. Do rejoin us in about 15 minutes' time for the second half of this one down at the Den. For now, we're locked at 1-1.
lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Yet we keep coming back, 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 keep
girls, scanning. Stay alert. Went all right?
Welcome back to the Den for the second half here. The two teams locked at 1-1 after the first 45 minutes of play. Launceston City dominating the early going in the half before Kingborough Lions really hit back and had a great spell towards the end. They got back on terms. They threatened to take the lead, and as we kick off the second 45, you'd have to say delicately poised up there for both teams to be able to win, and probably fairly tied at 1-1 so far in this game. It's going to be a big second half. We're underway. Agatowski defending that one as City look to break through Bygrave, trying to pick out Keelan Fagan, but couldn't quite find her on that occasion. And a big opportunity here for Kingborough to claim some points off one of the top teams. It's something they've not really been able to do so far in their Super League history, but after their big win over Ulverston last week in the Cup, perhaps the belief in the playing group will be there. It could be a real kickstart of that score for them. They've certainly looked a better team today than the one I saw a couple of weeks ago down here against University. They've really taken it up to this strong City side. A lot of play in wide areas. This one's going to be pulled back. The linesman on the side raising his flag there. It's of course the first of big double-header down at the Den this afternoon. We've got the same two teams playing in the NPL coming up at 2:30 for you. It's a big day here at the Den, a lovely day for football, and the hosts have made a good start to the day here as that one's steered away by Hernick. Shipped forwards, but that one easily broken up by Clifford at the back. Bygrave now pouncing on it for City. Beth Bygrave going one way then the other, then being brought down. No free kick though. Bygrave asking the question. No decision forthcoming. Showed wonderful quick feet and thought she was fouled there in the process. Not to be. Here's Emily Hernick. Pressure by Dadswell. Combining with Saville. Now Hernick with a chance to swing a left-footed cross in over the head of Fagan. Bygrave was lurking but well tracked back by Moore. Here's Saville. Steered away by Clifford. Not convincingly cleared, but they should be right now, the Lions. Moore temporarily held up while they've coughed it back up to Shegog. This is all very scrappy at the moment. Now the Lions will look to counter. They're building through Moore, linking up with Lawson. Now back for Watkins. Through the legs there of Banner. Now Moore again. Christabel Moore, centering pass, easily picked off there by Hernick. Now it's Furness. Now for Dadswell. Working up though by Agatowski. Now Hernick lofting it forward. Bygrave got a toe in, trying to work it in the Fagan direction. Bygrave controls. The team really able to maintain a spell of possession here. Oh, sloppy at the back. It's let Keelan Fagan in. She crosses. Probably just needed to take the shot on there, I think, Keelan Fagan. Instead, opting to put a cross in and didn't really have a teammate in prime position. There's such a thing as being a bit too selfless at times, and just need to be a bit hungrier there, the young striker. Here's Tatton. Looking to spring to Schmidt in behind, but Hernick has been solid. Schmidt bodying up. Hernick puts it out of play. So an end-to-end opening few minutes of this second half. Back, Bygrave now pouncing on it for City. Beth Bygrave going one way than the other, then did go down a little easily perhaps, Beth Bygrave there. No, not sure what contact there was on the opposite side to her camera. She felt a little bit and went down, but perhaps not enough to bring her down in that manner. So it's the Lions on the attack here. They'll have to go backwards to go forwards though, and they play it to Furness. Furness with a poor pass. Launceston City invited back in. Well won back by Lawson though. Phoebe Clifford setting Watkins a task. She was up to it and then returned it immediately, and then that's a better pass, and it's sprung Watkins in behind. Watkins charging after this one. I think her and Davis just got their wires crossed a little there. And Dewsbury is able to collect, but it's the Lions putting a bit of pressure on City here again. It's a pretty open game at the moment, flowing end to end. The team able to really maintain possession as the Lions win the ball back again here through Lawson. Furness, Tatton, now Dadswell, back to Tatton. Lovely flowing football this from the Lions. What's at the end of it? Dadswell with a chance to cross. She has time and space. She sends it in. Couldn't pick out a teammate though, and Launceston City will repel. It was a good build up, but cross not quite matching that. Shegog working it down the line, gave Fagan something to chase. Gardner put under pressure by Fagan. Now Clifford gets herself into a little bit of trouble there with Saville. Plays her way out of it well enough. Shegog trying to outmuscle her, but backing her wheels in there was Clifford. Bygrave tries to escape down the line, couldn't do so. Fagan though, threatening to get in here, and she pulls the trigger this time, Keelan Fagan. Gave Gardner something to think about, but ultimately just wide. Good hustle there from Beth Bygrave. Chance coming from nothing really, and this time hitting it first time, trying to catch Gardner unawares and just lacking the direction. But, well, she probably learned a lesson after the one from 2 minutes ago. There was no hesitation to pull the trigger on this occasion. This one's straight to Beth Bygrave. Steventon plays it forward. Bygrave pressuring Bygrave. Surely 2-1 here. Getting ahead to it was Gardner. What a save. That is a crucial touch from Olivia Gardner. Beth Bygrave with a glorious opportunity to make it 2-1. But Olivia Gardner comes up big. Got just enough on it to take it past the post. She did that a couple of times to Jasmine Gorry last week, similar types of saves, and frustrates Beth Bygrave on this occasion. Well done, Olivia Gardner. Big chance. Goes begging. The corner swung in. It's powerfully hit. Steventon rising. Bygrave was there. Worked back in. Now headed. Oh, not dealt with. Who's first to the fall? Saville scrapping there with Dadswell, and Dadswell recovered. He did it well enough and puts it out of play. A long throw. Clifford will just put it out of play and they can go again. So Hernick goes for Bygrave. Well defended Dadswell, but we're going to go through this for a third consecutive time as the ball once more put out of play in the exact same spot. What Hernick opt for on this occasion? Perhaps the longer throw. That's what she does, looking for Fagan, who's trying to bulldoze through. Bygrave first to the pounce of the ball and smashes it just past the post. Just hungry for this one was Beth Bygrave. Now from Moore sliding in there to try and put her off, and probably succeeded in doing so. In the middle, the It's Watkins trying to find Davis. It might spill for her. Laura Davis. Oh, big foul there from the keeper, and a big decision to be made from Luke Phillips here. Dewsbury has cleaned up Laura Davis. She's the last man rule might apply here as we have a look. Davis is in on goal just about. Cleaned up, and that's outside the box side. I'm not sure how this won't be a red card to the keeper. That's got to be denying a clear goal scoring opportunity. If it was in the box, of course, with the rule change, it would just be a yellow if you're deeming to play the ball, but outside the area, and that's a big call. He's just dished the slice of cheese. Must have thought that Hernick was going to cover it. So a big call, that one. So wouldn't mind another look at that one, Ash, if we can. Well, Davis down on the ground, which you don't want to see, but she's in behind. Hernick on the other side of her. She takes it past the keeper. I'm not sure Hernick's really covering. That's the decision that's been made, though. It's a poor challenge from the goalie. Both players have come off worse for wear, Davis especially, so we hope she's all right. She's still down, but I reckon Launceston City have probably dodged a bullet there. They could and probably should be down to 10. So a stoppage here. Davis getting back to her feet, which is good to see. Just going through the tests, concussion test, to make sure she still knows where she is. So Davis looking proppy. And eventually we'll get restarted, and the Kingborough Lions are going to have a free kick in a very good position. Davis would normally be probably the first to step up and take it. Perhaps Emile Tatton might be the one to do it if she's less than 100%. In fact, she's going to limp off. A smile, though, which is good to see. So obviously doesn't look like anything major. So eventually we're going to get back, and a free kick, and definitely a bullet dodged as far as I'm concerned there for Lonnie City. Must have decided that Brooke Hernick was in position to make the stop. Anyway, it's going to be Emile Tatton from the free kick straight into the wall. So nothing doing there for the Lions. And now they really have come out of that nicely unscathed, City. Davis right to come back on. Which is good to see. Here's Beth Bygrave. Shegog with the throw in. Punched in there and repelled away. Here's Watkins. Into a bit of trouble is Lawson, and now Bygrave threatening at the top of the box. She's immediately surrounded by 5 Lions, though. The whole pack, the Pride of Lions even, just surrounding Beth Bygrave, not giving her an inch. They've learnt their lesson from the first half. Lawson gets the better of Shegog, and Richardson first to the fall of the ball. She's had a good game today, Richardson, or Watkins rather. She's been busy as this one is chipped down the line. Fagan will give chase again. Watkins first to it though. Oh, and a lovely touch around Keelan Fagan too there from Watkins. Davis the target. Well won though at the back by Hawes. Now this one's swung goalward, but comfortably collected by Olivia Gardner. Long searching ball dealt with by Hernick. And Laura Davis just a little overzealous in her attempts to win it. And free kick blown. is Christabel Moore. And now to play for another throw in. Throw in down the line, flicked on. Hernick. And Moore again repelling. And Clifford on that occasion. A couple of them with the bandaging. A couple of leg injuries there from Moore and Clifford, both with the strapping there, the blue strapping. So some injury concerns and clearly not quite 100%. But a chance now for the Lions to break. They work it to Davis, couldn't bring it under control, and one back there in the end by Steventon. Hawes chipping it down the line. Watkins first to the pounce of the ball, and she looks to tear off down the left, works it back inside towards Davis. Oh, really well defended. Good strength from Brooke Hernick. The pass didn't quite match the defending as she just puts it out of play in the end, but well won back initially from the Launceston City centre half. And pretty solid in defence today. Here's Bygrave. Bygrave works it down the line. Keelan Fagan. Make any inroads on this occasion. Fagan smashing it back in. Held away on 2 occasions by Isha Mackay. Fagan says have a third whack at it. And Mackay obliges, knocks it long to Davis. She nods it on presumably for herself and then won her own ball and then looks to take it past Hawes. Good play from Laura Davis if she's got the stamina to keep going. Trot on the ball, had to go back and gather it. Kept hold of it well, but then Watkins coughed it up. Saville. Slightly errant pass on that occasion from Holly Saville. So Lawson to take the throw in. No one offering the short option, so down the line she goes, falls into the path of Watkins. Plays it centrally, but coughed it straight up to Hernick, who's released Fagan with a lovely pass, and her first time hit was a little bit wide of the post there. Not the cleanest connection from Keelan Fagan on that occasion. As the opportunity opened up there for a moment, and it wasn't to be. Here's Tatton driving forwards. And now threading it through, looking for Davis. Gets there before the keeper. Laura Davis surely to make it 2-1. Oh, she's put it past the post. Unbelievable. Well, the normally clinical Davis just put too much bend on this one. Would have put the house on her, sliding that one to the back of the net. Unable to do so. And a big opportunity missed there for the Kingborough Lions to take a 2-1 lead, and it's those type of moments you need to seize if you're going to beat the bigger teams in the comp. They've been right in this one. They're up to this one, up to their eyeballs in this one. The Lions, they're every chance, but they've just got to take those chances when they present themselves. A big miss there from the usually reliable Davis. Will Launceston City make them pay? Keelan Fagan driving. The rebound will be poked on by Hernick, and they have made them pay. Oh, talk about the 2-goal turnaround. A minute ago, it looked certain to be 2-1 Kingborough, and now, in a cruel twist of fate, it's 2-1 Lonnie City. A powerful shot from Fagan, not handled by Gardner. She left it on the doorstep, and following up was Emily Hernick to poke home. And that is just getting the salt shaker and just pouring into the gaping wound. And Kingborough, well, as I said, if you don't take those chances, big teams will do that to you, the better teams in the comp. If they leave the door ajar, you best smash on through it. And Kingborough missing the opportunity to do so and now finding themselves behind in this game. And they now need to respond. That's got to be a bit deflating for them, you'd have thought. Beth Bygrave up against Grace Furness. Able to make anything happen on this particular occasion. So it's going to be a throw in taken by Dadswell. Long over the top they go. Let's deal with this. And Mackay, and she did so well. So sliding doors moments in football games today. Laura Davis missing an open net at one end. And not a minute later, Launceston City make them pay. Can be a cruel game at times, football. Ultimately, you've got to take your chances. And it might be a very harsh way to learn that lesson indeed for the Kingborough Lions if this result holds. 2-1 now the score. That was coming from Hernick and Bygrave. Davis scoring the goal for the Lions, who now need to chase this result. And Laura Davis looks to do just that. She's in behind again, Davis. She's got Tatton in support. She opts to try and drive one in at the near post, but a little bit too far out for that and unable to beat Dewsbury. She's had a little bit of success rounding the Kingborough number one. So far, been unable. And she's got round as Bygrave sends this one in. Gardner all over that. Long and strong from Gardner. Here's Steventon. And here forwards. Punches this one down the line for Hernick to give chase to. Doing well here is Hernick, and then she tried to sneak one in near post, but Gardner was awake to that. So what have the Lions got left in the tank with 23 to play? That's a poor pass from Gardner, went straight to Lillian Shigog. One back though by Clifford. And Watkins lays it back in the past. Just eluding teammate there, Lawson. A bit too much on it. Here's Bygrave up against Lawson again. Showed strength. Bygrave still somehow got a foot in to win the ball though. Still down the deck afterwards, Beth Bygrave. Looking a little worse for her. Back to her feet now as Holly Saville has it in the middle and linking up and playing the 1-2. Keelan Fagan. This is building ominously. Well done, Dadswell. Is that a back pass though? No, it's ruled to be a challenge from Isabel De Smit. Davis the target of this long ball. Davis took it down nicely. Couldn't pick out a teammate with the pass though. Davis working back in defence. She's a willing customer and she just gets barged straight in the back there. And a slice of cheese for Hernick of the Brook variety. Just barging Laura Davis over on that occasion. Pretty easy decision right in front of Phillips. He's not going to miss that one.
Outside, Lil, just for now. Get outside. Get there, get there.
So this one's swung to the top of the box where Watkins was. Her shot blocked. Her second one rising over the top and just wide of the mark. The threat was there.
No, I think that because they're doing work.
Unable to direct the shot. Chip ball in the Fagan direction. Now Laura Davis looking to get in behind again, but the flag's been raised on it. It will frustrate the hosts to no end. They try and claw their way back into this one.
Davo, drop to the 10. Neil up to the 9.
There's some action on the substitutes bench here for the Lions. They're trying to get back into it. As we see, Layla Hickman has come on for Christabel Moore. So Simon Edwards shuffling his deck to try and get them back into this one. And the substitute with around about 20 minutes to try and make an impact. This one's back. Clifford. Getting boxed in here a little bit, the Lions, but turnover now been forced, and the cross swung to the back post and almost chipping Gardner, who showed an assured pair of hands in the end. Just threatened for a moment to lob her into the far corner there. Wasn't too far away. Hernick. Hernick doing well. Getting in behind down the left here. Hernick's cross didn't have the same quality on it, however. Rather tame in the end, and out of play it rolls. So, throw-in will be taken. The Lions starting to run out of time. 20 minutes left in this one. Saville works it to Bygrave. Beth Bygrave immediately closed down. Still got the shot off. It's been noticeable, especially in this second half. There's been a shift from these Kingborough Lions defenders to close down Beth Bygrave. They've not wanted to get caught out by her again. Distance shooting. Done a reasonable job denying her spaces. This one's lofted in the Watkins direction. And volleyed upwards by Steventon. It'll fall at the feet of Laura Davis. Took a touch and then swung it forwards. Strength shown here from Emil Tatton. Watkins really bombing on here, trying to make something happen, but they couldn't get in behind and skied away again. And now it's Keelan Fagan driving into the box, grabs a bit of the shirt. Keelan Fagan, Gardner did well. Had a good challenge and denies Fagan on that occasion. Coming off a little worse for wear as a result of it was Fagan, but well defended by the goalkeeper on that occasion. Swung in, headed, was blocked. Clifford now attacking it. Davis in defence. Hernick smashes it just wide of the post. Brooke Hernick lashing that one with the laces. And it was just wide of the mark, not far away. Gardner gets us going immediately. Back the other way, the substitute Hickman trying to make something happen with a direct approach. Couldn't spring Tatton though. Now it's Emily Hernick, her sister having come close moments ago. The substitute getting involved once again here, trying to drive the play, as is Emil Tatton with a head full of steam. Charging into the box here is Emil Tatton. Had nothing in support though. And just needed to hold it up and wait for the cavalry to arrive, really. Instead played the early cross. Watkins charging it down, trying to make something out of nothing. And in the end, it'll be a substitution here. Madison James is going to be introduced, and she'll replace Ellie Lawson there. So, second switch of the day. Some fresh legs being introduced. Can young Madison James, the hero their side needs right now. Bygrave combining there nicely with Saville, and in the end, poor pass out of play down the line. And Madison James will have her first involvement of the day. And another throw, slowly incrementing it. Really, so don't go down the line again. There's 4 players surrounding Watkins. It means there must be a mismatch somewhere else on the field, and eventually they work it to Davis, who tried to thread it through for Tatton. Couldn't do so though. Beth Bygrave, the target of this one. Now it's James again with a nice little touch inside. This one's driven wide of the post, and news from Wentworth Park, a fast start over there. We've got Devonport Strikers taking the lead in the opening minute of that game. So, not an ideal start, you'd have to say, there for the hosts at Wentworth Park. The visitors taking a good early lead. See if we can get the goal scorer for you at some point. So, can the Lions fight their way back into this one? It's Launceston City coming back the other way. Gardner will gather that one. She punches this one right down the hay diddle diddle. The target was Tatton, but she was just outpointed by the stronger and bigger figure of Selena Stevenson. Gardner again collecting. And again, we'll just smash it and hope that something can happen when they contest. Doing a good job on that occasion was Tatton. Worked it to Watkins. Watkins. Cuts it back. This is promising. Kingborough building patiently. It's Tatton looking for the opening. Go back to Furness. And it's broken up. Repelled again by this City defence. Watkins trying to make inroads, but unable to do so. And time starting to tick away here. They've got an opportunity though with a set piece. Corner swung right into the mixer. Everyone went underneath it. Back they go to Furness. A heavy touch and then couldn't win the follow-up. Hernick now for Launceston City. Will try and play in Fagan, but just overcooked that one a little. Just a fraction too much on it. 2-0 to Devonport over Clarence inside of 5 minutes. So Strikers dominating there as we go around the grounds. Beth Bygrave trying to make some inroads. Unable to do so. Laura Davis picks it up. Can the Lions burst back the other way? She's zigging and zagging, but The City defence held firm, and now at the other end a chance. This game really opening up, but Gardner beating Fagan to the ball. Koenig at the back, pressured by Tatton. Wide they go. Madison James, the substitute. Can they conjure anything? James again. Works it to Davis. Davis trying to burn off Stevenson. She's thinking shoot, and she directs it straight at the goalkeeper. Here's Gardner punching that one away. So a set piece opportunity here for Selena Stevenson. 2-1 the score in favour of Launceston City, and Stevenson's going to swing this one in. Gardner collecting comfortably enough. And she's just going to smash it down the middle and hope Laura Davis can get there, but Hernick eats that one up at the back. A full pass though from Brooke Hernick on this occasion. Oh, and that's ill-disciplined, I'm afraid, from the youngster there. Didn't need to try and keep that ball in, did Dadswell. She's had a fantastic game, the young right back, but in judgment there. Hernick combining, and that should roll out for a goal kick. The Lions can reload once more. So Gardner going to take the throw in, or the goal kick rather. Look out from typing. Here's Furness through the middle. Sends it in the Davis direction. She's looking a little bit tired, Davis, but she'll go again here. She's charging in behind. Pause for company. Davis with a centering pass. It was a good one. Falls for Tatton. Over the bar. Couldn't quite control the shot there, Emil Tatton. And the opportunity goes begging. Laura Davis, a mountain of work up top, copped an awful knock when she was brought down on the edge of the area by Dewsbury. But still soldiering on hard. Here's Laura Davis as she tries to will her team back into this contest. Here's James. Madison James. Davis gets back on side. Now James looks to spring Watkins. Well defended by Hawes. Watkins again. Laura Davis. Corralled by Hernick. Back to Watkins. And Hernick again has been fantastic in the heart of this defence for Launceston City, and she sweeps across to put that behind. A very good performer for her team. A look at the quarter flag, blowing in the breeze there. A little bit of wind factor, nowhere near to the level we saw in the den a few weeks back, mind you. So Hickman with the corner. It's a dangerous ball, well repelled away again by Hernick. Another fierce cross with a bit of pace on it. Might fall for Tatton! Off the crossbar, Davis! Oh, somehow couldn't direct a goal with Watkins now with the ball. She crosses. Dewsbury has just kept it out, balanced it off the post, and somehow City survive. Oh my, chaos in the area here. Tatton from 3 yards out, and I reckon Dewsbury's got a little piece on that one. Directs it into the post. The follow-up couldn't be steered goalward. Then Watkins almost fumbled over the line. I reckon part of it was, not all of it. And City have held on there in a minute of pure chaos inside the Kingborough Lions penalty area. But unfortunately for the host perspective, no goal from it, and they might be hurt back the other way because Hernick's on the end of this one. And again, the cross is side netting only. And Beth Bygrave, who made a bursting run from midfield waiting for it, couldn't pick her out. So City neglect the opportunity to kill the game off, having survived a near scare at the other end. And Kingborough, I think they're going to look back at this game as a big missed opportunity if they don't get anything from it. Throw in going City's way. Is over the head of Fagan. Dealt with by Mackay. Early as far as Beth Bygrave. She works essentially for Holly Saville. Plays it back for Hernick, who just chips one, looking perhaps for Fagan. Didn't have the direction on it. And Gardner can reload once more inside the final 5 minutes of regulation here at the Den. It's Launceston City holding sway 2-1, but they have really had this game taken up to them by the Lions. Probably deserve something from the match. Can they conjure it up? This one worked forwards. Again, controlled by Mackay, but she's lost it to Hernick, and Hernick gets around Dadswell. Recovering was Isha Mackay. I wouldn't have thought City would be in at much rush to take this throw in. Top of the box, curling effort. It's a beautiful hit from Holly Saville, and that must surely seal the game for Launceston City. Saville picks out the top corner, and it's a Launceston City 3, a Kingborough Lions 1. They've just had that extra killer instinct, that little clinical edge in front of goal today, and that will be the difference between the sides. It's Launceston City who will temporarily move back to the top of the Super League table, and in some style, Holly Saville with a wonderful goal to finish this one off. And the Lions have fought valiantly, but surely that must be the ball game now. It's hard to see the Lions striking twice in the final few moments. And they might add a little bit more because Keelan Fagan's off to the races now. And Keelan Fagan trying to beat Gardner, who again was sharp, and it's just starting to unravel a little bit at the back. Well won back by Watkins. Well against Hawes there. Looked it back in for James. She's added a bit since coming on, James. And now Laura Davis. Crossing, Hickman at the back post. She'll have to work back for it. Has Tatton in support. Tried to work it to her, but just undercooked it. And that allows the City defence to intervene and whisk that one away. Dying embers of this Super League game. Launceston City looking like they're going to dodge a major bullet. They've been given quite the scare by the Lions this afternoon. But it would seem they are set to make it a 7th win in 8 games as James cleverly just plays that one out off a Shegog. So they'll move back equal with Ulverston on 21 points. They have the superior goal difference at the moment, but Ulverston do have that game in hand to come against Clarence tomorrow. And you would anticipate that they'll be able to move back on top there. So it's the two northern teams leading the way at the moment with a bit of a break on the rest of the competition after this will be the 8th game for City today. And here is the number 8 who just scored that wonderful goal, Holly Saville, charged down by Dadswell. Kept in Hernick. And now Watkins driving it wide. I think she's going to run out of room here. Well, Sammy Watkins, she's battled hard today. Put in a pretty good shift, but doesn't look like it's going to be the Lions' day. Here's Bygrave. Shegog ahead of James. Saville turning. She's been fantastic again today, Holly Saville, having quite the season. Hernick the target, controlled it. Then Saville picked her own teammate's pocket. Beth Bygrave with a little bit of space here, and you know what that means. She's thinking shoot. Watkins awake to that fact, charges it down and cops the Falcon in the process. Shegog goes for Holly Saville. Saville. And that's out of play. So here's James. It's been a brave fight from this young Kingborough Lions team. I think they've definitely turned a corner in recent weeks. It was a tough start to the season for them. Some disappointing results in there, but after last week's win and now this, I think things starting to get back on track for the Lions in season 2018. And a couple of results they can certainly look to build from and try and add a few more wins into that column, which just reads one for the time being. It's a pretty convincing one over Clarence, but they're going to slip to 1-7 unless Tatton can conjure up some late magic. Well, she's pulled one back here, Emil Tatton. They've probably got about a minute or two to find another, but a late lifeline perhaps for the Lions. It's back to 3-2. It'll depend on how many minutes of stoppage time we've got as to whether there is time enough, but Emil Tatton with a very tidy finish. And it's back to 3-2, just to keep things interesting here at the end. And City will just want to settle things down and see this one out, but just well worked in behind there, and the pace of Tatton just causing major problems at the back. Now, do they have time to find another? It would be a remarkable late fight back here. Gardner smashing it forwards, straight to Beth Bygrave. Experienced head coming to the fore here for City. That's a lovely ball. No, not going to be tracked down by Shegog in the end, and a chance for Gardner to get them going quickly. Long and strong is the order of the day here. 92 minutes of tick by, 3-2 the score. A look at the watch from Luke Phillips, and a blow of the whistle, and they won't get that final roll of the dice after all. It's ended here at the Den. Kingborough Lions 2, Launceston City 3. They fought hard, the Lions. They gave them a terrific game, but just that clinical edge, the difference at the end of the 90. And 3 more valuable points for City, who jump to the top of the table for the time being. That's all from game number 1 here at the Den. We'll be back very shortly with the second leg of this doubleheader when the NPL sees these two same clubs go head-to-head. Do join us for that one. We'll be back shortly.